Hey everyone, this is Borderlands Legends HD for the iPhone and iPad. I'm playing this version on the iPad 2. So I was hoping that Gearbox and 2K would be getting together to produce a decent Borderlands mobile game. Unfortunately, Borderlands Legends is not it. I'm going to start with the positives. First of all, I like the fact that they've really tried hard to make this different while keeping a lot of the Borderlands style. So it's a top-down shooter where you drag your guys to the place you want them to go, or you drag them towards an enemy, and you're controlling all four of the Borderlands characters, which I think is quite cool. It means that you've got much more varied stuff going on, you're going to level up more often, you're going to have to worry about stats more often, and I think that works really well with a mobile device, and I'm glad they didn't try to make an FPS. And other than saying that the art style is quite similar, that's pretty much where my praise for this game has to end. For a start, this is a £5, $6 iPhone game, so I was expecting quite a bit from it. It's also from a franchise that I've enjoyed greatly, and it's made by the original developers, so it shouldn't be a bad port or badly programmed. Unfortunately, it is badly programmed. The biggest problem is the AI, which it doesn't seem to want to work. You go off to shoot someone or move your character, and sometimes the game just doesn't register it at all. Even when it does register it, you have this real problem where characters get stuck in pretty much everything. So as you can see on the screen now, you only have this one room that you're fighting in, and even in this fairly small area, I've got two characters that are now stuck to each other. And the blue line is me desperately trying to drag them away, and they're just not going anywhere at all. The other thing that I really think this game has really missed the mark on is the loot system. People play Borderlands 2 and even Borderlands 1 because there's lots of guns, and they're different, they're interestingly named, they have different statistics. They've actually knocked all the loot stats down to just two things, which I think is fine. It simplifies it for a mobile audience, that's cool. What it doesn't end up doing is making it very interesting. All of the guns have these similar names, they all have their level numbers stuck to them, and even the shields, all their naming system keeps carrying over. It just doesn't make gathering equipment very exciting at all. And there's no loot drops in the game whatsoever, so you have to buy and sell everything from the store. You get to the store every level, and you can also get to it in the middle of most levels, and this also gives you a bit of a break to level up your characters as well. As for the actual gameplay, one of the biggest problems I have is that it's incredibly repetitive. So you have these 4 or 5 waves of enemies that you can see in the top left, and you have special powers that you can see in the top right, which you get from leveling. And you basically attack these waves of enemies, and then you move on to the next screen. And that wouldn't be so bad in itself, except the environments are not very interesting at all. I think the environment here, this one, is used in the very first level of the game, and 4 or 5 hours later I've seen it probably about 10 times. There's really not much variation, and even where they put them, this is always at the end of a level, and you're always going to be here, and you always know what's going to happen. So the only thing that really changes for each mission is the amount of enemies and what type of enemies come out. There's also not a lot of variation there, so there's just not a lot of content at all in this game for £5. The actual combat, when it works, when you control your characters, is quite fun. If you're looking for something deep and tactical out of your strategy top-down Borderlands ports, you're not going to get it here, because the speed of everything plus the bad controls means that you're essentially just mashing buttons. And you can win like that. Once you hit level 8 or 9, things get really, really easy, and just by activating your special powers and vaguely moving your guys to where the enemies are, you're going to win. And there's really no challenge at all. Now, if this was a 99p game, or a free game, or something around £2 even, I'd think it would be recommendable to Borderlands fans, but at £5 when you can pick up much better Borderlands DLC for about £8, I don't see any reason for this to exist at all.